today's guest speaker, our featured speaker, is none other than our own past District Governor Leslie Salehuddin, and his topic is proactive approach to secure that dream job. So allow me a few minutes to introduce our featured speaker for today. Leslie Salehuddin was born in Taiping on 5th April 1955, educated at the Victoria Institution, Kuala Lumpur, and Universities of Otago and Canterbury, New Zealand. The early part of his career was in corporate consultancy, having worked for Ingbukon International and Arthur Young, a predecessor firm of Ernst and Young. And he then formed a recruitment and business services consultancy, which he has been managing the business since 1994. He has been active in civil societies and business chambers since the early 80s. Amongst the various positions he has held since the early 80s included the following: Council member of the Institute of Marketing Malaysia, Honorary Secretary of the Victoria Institution Old Boys Association and the VIOBA Foundation. Founding member of the Malaysian Australian Business Council, executive member of the Malaysian New Zealand Business Council, now known as Malaysian NZ Chamber of Commerce, subcommittee head of Malaysian International Chamber of Commerce and Industries, and also Malaysian Invention and Design Society, having organized a major charity fundraiser. Currently, he is on the board of visitors of the Thomson Hospital, Kota Damansara, by appointment by the Ministry of Health, and also a former vice president of the Sri KDU Parents Teachers Association. In Rotary at the club level, he is a past president, currently serving as an advisor to the Rotary Club of Gombak Charity Foundation. At district level, he holds the position of a past district governor of District 3300, and is also an advisor in several committees, including the district action groups of preventable blindness, Rotary Kaseh, Spina Bifida, and the newest of all, mental health initiative. He was vice governor and district trainer twice. At the zone level, he was an assistant regional coordinator, overseeing membership growth in 2 districts covering Malaysia, Singapore, and Brunei. Currently in his final year as chair of the District Rotary Foundation Committee, also re-elected as a trustee for the Yayasan Club Rotary Malaysia, and past director of Rotary International District 3300 Berhad. He is married to Zila Yunus. He has 2 children, Adi Johan, who lives in Chicago, and Misha Medina, a secondary Form 5 student. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to our speaker today, Leslie Salehuddin.
Hey. Thank you, Raj, for that kind introduction. All our EMP candidates who are in the room, Shirley, and of course, past Governor Kiran, and I have to recognize also Dr. Bernard, who's helping us with the technology. So nice to have all of you here. From the photo, you can see that I had a change of hairstyle. This is all not because I took the jab of COVID and to change my hair color, but this is my natural hair color. So I've been using technology. I've been sharing with you all for the past 2 decades. So it's back to all natural. Okay, my friends, you all have gone through 3 rounds. Yeah, so let me just allow me to share screen with you. Today, the session will be, I'd like to make it interactive, a little bit more interactive, because employment is always about you, about the market, and a lot of things that we can share. But let's just, I'm going to have this little discourse. It's going to be a one-way traffic initially, and later on we'll have more time for discussion and a Q&A session. Yeah, allow me to. Just to share a little bit more about my background in recruitment. I've done recruitment for Malaysians, sending them to overseas. I have also brought in foreign knowledge workers to Malaysia as well during the construction boom of the 1997, 96, or the mid-90s, before the Asian financial crisis. We had all the mega projects, and at that time I was recruiting engineers from the Philippines, from India, and also from the Middle East. And then Y2K came along just before the new millennium, 2000, and Singapore had a smart school program, and they needed also a lot of Y2K technicians. So we had to scour from India. We went to Pune, we went to Bangalore, we went Chennai to source IT guys for the Smart School program in Singapore, as well as to resolve and the concern of employers on Y2K issues. Yeah, you know, that time the clock, when you turn Y2K, we had a lot of problems. Some of you obviously maybe in your still wearing your nappy during the 2000. I think most of you are still at that stage or just started to crawl or just started walking. Our attendees here. So that is very interesting. I do all sorts. I'm what they call a rojak recruiter. I do C2C, meaning you want a chauffeur, you want a clerk, you want a CFO. Yeah, you got the right person. I do all that. Yeah, multi-industries, from a small micro enterprise to NGOs to what they call MNCs, as well as listed public listed companies. Yeah, I don't screen and I don't specialize. I do all that. Okay. So today I'm going to share a little bit with you on under this employability track, proactive approach to securing that dream job. Yeah, just a recap of what you all have gone through. First 3 sessions, you had an HR consultant all the way from South Africa, a letter to share tips with you on interview techniques. You had also on your presentation skills and branding by 2 gurus. Okay, and now you have picked up valuable tips to excel at the hiring process and get yourself noticed. All right. Okay. So what will be the takeaways today? At the end of the session, I'd like you all to, of course, there'll be different outcomes. I wasn't sure how many of you are undergraduates. I understand from Shirley, there was almost 50-50, but from the few that I've spoken to, all of you are working adults, all right? So you would have gained a better insight as to what is your dream job and how you can prepare yourself in career planning, and you have to be prepared for the long haul if you want to land your dream job. Right? And for the young working adults, we'd expect you to be more nimble and to decide whether the current employment offers you that opportunity where you are currently, or you need to look into career advancement into your dream job. Okay? And we'll be sharing some practical approaches as to how you move up the career ladder and how the current pandemic will impact you. Okay, let's talk about your life aspirations. All right? All of you as young adults, you have your aspirations. Your parents expect the same of you. So we talk of originally was 5 C's, then it's gone down to 6 C's and now 7 C's. All right. So some of you can tell me what are your 7 C's that you have. Okay. Definitely, you're looking at cash. You're looking at your credit cards. All right. We expect you want to start to work. And later on, when you settle down, you have the money, your parents say, oh, gosh, I want that dream condo overlooking a beautiful sea view in either Penang or Langkawi somewhere, all right, or even in KL. And the other C is for country club. Yeah, some of you will want to play golf or just bring your family to relax at your country club, all right? And of course, this is the Tesla electric Gulfwing car. Some of you will, your young millennials will aspire not to go on gasoline cars, but will want to aspire to get your electric car. But whatever it is, your 4 wheels is so important for connectivity in our daily lives. And of course, a career. That's very important, C. And for the young ones, those of you who are still single out there, a good catch. That is your 7 C's. Yeah, you want a good catch as well. All right. Okay. So let's talk about dream job. What is a dream job? There's such a thing as a dream job. Right. One definition is it's doing what you absolutely love to do that supports the lifestyle you choose to have. All right. Fair enough. Your dream job is just to support your lifestyle you choose to have. If you want to have a lifestyle of a rich and famous, then your dream job must certainly be able to support you towards that. All right, another definition, a job that fulfills a person's desires financially or emotionally. The financial part, yes, we've addressed that in the first definition. What about emotional? We talk about jobs, we talk about careers. It's not just about dollars and cents. Some people aspire to take on a job because it fulfills them. Yeah, a lot of young people now into social enterprises. Yeah, and they feel that this is the way to go. Yeah, and this is something that rather than the usual standard 9 to 5 job, they want to do something that at the end of the day they can sleep and say, I've done something fantastic in changing the world or making my small step to do that. All right, but of course it's subjective, my friends. It could be a big job title. Oh, I aspire to be the senior vice president of my bank. all right, as a huge package, a huge pay packet, a huge compensation, or a fantastic work-life balance, right? Not to be disturbed by a boss on a Saturday early morning or 4 o'clock having a meeting. I want a job that gives me the work-life balance, because I'm just married, my wife expecting, I got a baby in tow, so I like a job that really I could find satisfaction without having to work 24/7, all right? Or it could be a fulfilling job, just irregardless of the pay. All right, but before we talk about dream job, I have to bring you down to earth a little bit. Let's talk about the current scenario. As you all know, working adults, the current job market has been badly affected. It's a new norm. Yeah? It's a new norm. But how? Why? We have the highest unemployment rate since 1993, 4.5%. All right, at one stage of 4.5, it's now hovering by 3.9, 4%. But statistics being statistics, it could even be higher than that. Right? And between March and November 2020 with MCO, we lost almost 100,000 jobs, 98,000 plus jobs were lost. And this is only what's been reported to the Labor Department. Yeah, what's not reported to Jabatan Tenaga Kerja, we do not know. Right? And what the hardest hit? Services industry. Yeah, for instance, tourism. As one of our candidates here said that he is in the travel industry, and travel and tourism, and that's badly affected. Hospitality, aviation sectors. The airlines are badly because we are in a travel bubble. We can't even fly out now. So a lot of pilots are out of a job and all that. Yeah. Okay. And this is the paper clipping about unemployment at 4.5%. Ongoing pandemic has a huge impact on labor force. Right? Huge impact. Now, not to be the eternal pessimist, but unfortunately, I am a very practical person. I do recruitment, so I can see the market downturn is tremendous. It was not just the pandemic. In my industry, for instance, in fact, 2018, 2017, 2018, Q1, Q2, we saw signs that there was a downturn already with the change of government, with new policies, foreign investments were not coming in. So there were a lot of issues that resulted from the softening of the market, employment market, yeah, right? And any of you out there who are now impacted, meaning it's a new norm because you work from home, and sometimes working from home means 3 days in, 2 days out, and the boss will say, I think we all have to now cut your pay. We all have to take a 30% pay cut or 25%. That is now the norm, 25 to 30% pay cut, yeah? And some are even worse off. They were retrenchment is massive, right? So there's an article there which says how COVID-19 is disrupting Malaysia's job market. Now, all this is with the organizers, and those of you who want to just refer to some of these articles, you have that, or you can just write into me and tell me, and I can send these articles to you as well. Okay, how will all this impact your aspirations to your dream job? Right now, even top professionals are no longer secure. The GPs today are not doing very well for the past 1 year because a lot of patients, or so-called patients, rather just get medicines from the pharmacist and rather than going to see the doctor because they're afraid that they do not want to contact COVID-19. So they're staying away from the clinics, hospitals, unless it's on an emergency case. Even selective or elective surgeries are on hold because a lot of doctors say that, well, if you want to come in, then we have to take this precaution, you have to do this and that. So a lot of patients feel not so comfortable and say, okay, let's wait till the economy improves. So the GPs, the medical profession is also impacted. You have thought no, but now with the vaccination, if they are, the private GPs have given vaccinations to give jabs, it will improve the turnover. But of course, the jabs are given free by the government, right? It's not that they are able to charge, right? And also, what other professions? The lawyers, Kiran will testify that the lawyers have found it difficult because some legal firms, although courts are going on, there's virtual court hearing. I think all businesses across the board, not just the legal profession, have been hit as well. Yeah, all been badly hit. The architects, the engineers, were all impacted by the pandemic. Yeah, certainly my business as well. All right, but that's as they say, light at the end of the tunnel, and every cloud has a silver lining. There's some good news. All right, the government has taken cognizance that because of the pandemic, they need to put in some incentives to improve the local job market. And what are some of these? They have got the some portals where the government has put in some incentives to assist unemployed graduates. Previously, it was known as the Scheme Latihan Satu Malaysia, which was funded by Khazanah. This was before the pandemic. And then with the new government and with the pandemic, they now have got various portals to assist the unemployed to register them and try to get them some positions. Yeah, it's almost equivalent to a MyEG kind of connection. It's My Jobs, My IT Jobs. So they've got quite a few portals to assist those who are unemployed. Okay, and then there's also funding to support employers are able to draw from the SOXO, and some are able to make some drawing from EPF to support them. Yeah, but those are not to bolster the local job market. They're just to subsist and to assist employers who are badly hit. Okay, right. What other good news? Well, avoid discrimination when hiring. This was on the one news article that we had, but in Malaysia, I'm afraid we do not have the anti-discrimination law in place when it comes to employment. Yeah, unlike in the UK and in New York, you can report an employer whom you suspect do not want to employ you, not just because of your race and religion, but because of your BMI, because they think that you are oversized or you are not of the slim fit that fits into the corporate image of that organization. But here in Malaysia, the hard fact is, unfortunately, there is bias in the employment market, whether it's gender. They feel that the ladies, because, oh gosh, she just got married and she's not in the family way yet. Wow, then we're going to give her 3 months, 4 months, maternity, things like that. Yeah, comes to race, comes to languages. Yeah, they will, of course, some employers, when they want a particular ethnic origin, particular race, they will not mention the race. They'll say, we'll prefer candidates who can speak Mandarin. So if you are a non-Chinese, have gone to a Chinese school, and you are very fluent in your Mandarin, will you get the job? Right? That remains to be seen. Yeah, although they just put their language, but often it's just deeper than that. It's quite insidious. This discrimination here in Malaysia. And then the other article on more women holding senior corporate roles. Although this is in the Philippines, I think in Malaysia, the government has taken cognizance that we want more women on boards, yeah, on boards of listed companies. At least 30% of public listed companies, or we call them PLC for short, should have a component of a percentage of 30%. Yeah, and a lot of boards are trying to do that. It's not easy, but they have got a lot of qualified professionals, women who are of professional background, are able to now come in and hold board positions, right? And I'm quite happy to say that even in Rotary, we are now doing that. Yeah, we're going to have our first women president of Rotary, Jennifer Jones, year after next. All right, she's going to take the helm. And now even in our board of trustees in the foundation and in Rotary, we have 30% fulfillment of women in the board. Yeah, and the other article about 73,000 jobs created in 2020. I have to read between the lines. When they say 73,000 jobs created, these are obviously, a lot of them are the factories, the plants, because a lot of the foreign workers were sent back to the home country, and therefore there were some openings for locals. But a lot of these positions will very unlikely be taken up, yeah, by locals. Okay. So those are the 3 articles on job market. But what will the future hold then, my friends? Okay. This cartoon, yeah, that's 2 scenario of one going for an interview. In the 80s, look at the lower cartoon, the one at the bottom will tell you that the employer says, I can give you the job, but you only have 3 years experience with the software, which I can't even pronounce and don't even know what it is, despite the fact it's the backbone of this company, we haven't lifted a finger since 1986. So this is a very cryptic, a very tongue-in-cheek bite at employers in the 80s, in the 70s, who take a very different view of how they run an organization. But you look at the one on top. So if you want to get a job with, let's say, at Facebook or Google in the States, they have so much information on you. This guy just said, well, don't worry, don't bother to fill anything out. We already got all the information about you. Congratulations on your new job. You can call your wife, Helen, and tell her the good news. And don't forget your parents, Stephen and Mary. So you can imagine there's so much of so much of information going out there in terms of your personal details, that when you get a job, they say you don't have to fill up a form. You got all the details. Yeah, everything is there. Okay, what are the job trends of the future? New work era, right? We can discuss that later on. I will want you to perhaps tell me some notes as you go along later on the Q&A. Give me three factors or three reasons that you are looking out in your job. Yeah, what the job will provide you. Can you give me at least your rank them in priority? What is your top? What is second? What is third? When you look out for a job, yeah, just to give an idea, is it just purely the remuneration, or is it because of the working environment? It's clean. There's pipe music, you know, and the people working there are all very young and good looking. Just give me three at least. Yeah. Later on, I'll discuss this with you during the Q&A session. We can go through that, right? And not only what you look for employer, and what you perceive an employer expect from an employee. When they employ you, what do you think the employer will look out for? Your top three. Can you also give me your top three? Yeah, priorities in terms of ranking, in terms of what the employer will look out for during the interview process. They will ask you, all right, uh, I want this. I'm also looking out for that and for that. Okay, just give me your three. And then the article is about digital skills, the key to bolstering workforce innovation. We all know that, yeah? This is an article from MDEC that digital skills is here to stay, is the way to go, right? All right, your dream job, bit of reality check. What is a dream job? There are jobs in demand, there are jobs not in demand. And you can tell me also, just write down what you think are the highly in demand jobs, right? In your own mind. Currently, with the pandemic, what do you think are the three jobs are highly sought after, dream jobs? And what do you think are the three jobs or three industries are badly impacted by the pandemic? Yeah, share with me on that. All right. Then later on, we can go through here this whole list of all the positions, the most important skills for top trending. They're all there for IT. And then we've got specific skills as well. And then top trending jobs, it's all there. Yeah. So put your thought. So how do you clinch that dream job? Now, when we talk about dream job, we refer to this is the employment track. We're not talking about the entrepreneurship track. So, and also employment is not with a social enterprise or being self-employed. So if you work for instance, Teach for Malaysia, yeah, it's a lot of satisfaction. You want to do that, but we're talking about now the normal brick and mortar employment with an employer. Yeah, we're not talking about social enterprise here or being self-employed. Or perhaps your dream job is no job at all. For instance, the two YouTubers in Indonesia who did nothing. They just spent 3 hours staring into the computer or into the screen or into the camera. And I think they got a lot of hits and they already made some money out of that. Yeah. So they said, well, that's a good way of making money, not doing anything. You could be a change of career or an organization that you covet. That means an organization that you aspire to join. If in IT, those days, 30 years ago, the organization to join, of course, was IBM. But today it's totally different. IBM may not be the preferred organization for one to join if you're in the IT industry, right? Or a position within your current organization that you aspire to fill, okay? Right? Maybe you're looking at a C-level position. All these acronyms, CIO, your chief investment officer, or chief, what do you call it, IT officer, chief marketing officer, your chief technology officer, your chief financial officer, chief operating officer, or even the CEO of an organization. Yeah, all the C-level positions that you aspire to. But you must define your goals to do that. And what are your goals? You must be realistic, think twice, and make it happen. Okay, let me share with you a little bit more on how to define your goals. Yeah, to be realistic, think twice, and make it happen. All right, defining your goals. All right. Your goals are what makes your life more fulfilled. It can be climbing the professional ladder in your organization, making more money, getting more training and education. There's some organizations are very good with training. Yeah, a lot of companies, for instance, 3M, which is an American company that actually had a lot of patents. They invented their post-it pad and a lot of innovations come out of 3M. And 3M is known to be a great training organization. So if you aspire to work in the US, a lot of them forego their pay. They said, doesn't matter if I don't get high pay, but I like the training and the investment in human capital in 3M. All right. And some of you may be looking at more work-life balance, not too ambitious. I don't want a job that's going to be, I have to go home, reach home at midnight every night. I don't even see my kid and things like that, or my wife and girlfriend will miss me. So I'm looking for work-life balance. Okay. But stay on track, regardless of your changing life situations, whether you're from single, then you have a nest, build up a nest, a family nest, or family pressure. Your parents might put pressure on you. They say, hey, come on, you should be getting a job now. Your friends are all getting 5 to 6K. How come your job, you're only still getting 2 to 3K? What's all this, And other demands that typically rush people to change jobs or even careers. Don't do that. Yeah. Or if it is a job that helps you to become rich, assuming that is a feasible goal, pursue it then. Yeah. If it's your dream, I want to make money before I hit 30. I want to make my first million. Yes, a lot of them aspire to do that. Sure. And the bottom line is when you know what you're looking for in a job, it becomes easier to accomplish it. Yeah, easier to accomplish it. Okay, be realistic. Very important. Not all careers provide opportunity to fulfill all your goals. If you're in a low-paying job and you aspire to millionaire, it may not work out. Yeah, so immediately. So you got to be realistic, but you can still pursue the most comfortable lifestyle that your job can provide. Okay, and your fulfillment is interacting with people or influencing lives, and your current career simply does not allow you to do this kind of interaction because you are, if you're an audit line, what do? You look at books, you look at audit trail, you look at documents, source documents, and you are basically looking a lot of paperwork, going through that, and your interaction is only with your client if you're doing external audit. So that doesn't give you very much external pursuit to have a different setting, to be more extrovert and meeting the right people. So what about volunteerism? Yeah, as I mentioned, Teach for Malaysia is one possibility. Yeah, there are a lot of them. There's Habitat for Humanity. There's organizations now that social enterprise that build homes for Orang Asli or Orang Asal community that you can get them to help you to build homes. Organizations have used them. Yeah, so there are a lot of not-for-profit organizations as well. UNHCR, World Wildlife Fund, Malay Nature Society, and the list goes on and on. Yeah, the millennials, a lot of young people now are also seeking satisfaction, not in a typical career in an office-based job or outdoor job, but with a social enterprise or an NGO. Right? And be realistic can also help you to balance your professional ambition and avoid making mistakes that are driven solely by your desire to capture a dream job that fulfills the needs of your lifestyle. So you have to balance between your professional ambition, like I want to complete, if you want accounts, I want to complete my ACCA within 3 years. I want to be a qualified accountant. I want to be a member of MIA, and avoid making mistakes that are driven solely by desire to capture a dream job. And that's supposed to fulfill your need of your lifestyle, but sometimes it may not. Yeah, sometimes it's just your professional ambition to get that, to achieve that, but it is not money making the profession. But never mind, I've got the alphabets after my name, right? And I've got a PhD. I've done my research work. Does not matter if I become a teacher in a college or in a private university. I don't make a big mega bucks, but I'm happy that I'm able to transfer my skills and knowledge to students. Yeah. Okay. Think twice. All right. Changing jobs may seem harmless. So what is there to lose if you're getting more money, better title, and the like? But there is actually a loss and a risk for you to become a so-called a frequent job hopper. You got to be very careful because employers tend to not too happy. They look at your CV and they say, "Hey James, I see that you've been holding the last 3 jobs not more than 6 months or 9 months. Was there any particular reason that you left them?" Unless you got very good explanation as to why you made a career move so soon. A lot of employees normally are not happy if you are seen to be a job hopper, right? Because not only that, for potential employment, but the loss in the disruption of due to your continuity, seniority, and your knowledge within the organization that you've accumulated as well. I don't mean that you should stay like the Japanese talk about lifelong employment. Now the Japanese don't even look at lifelong employment. They do change jobs. Yeah, but in Malaysia, a lot of our so-called executives do change jobs very often, right? They're no longer that loyal, but they're also candidates, I've seen some employees that have worked for years and years. And sometimes they change jobs after, well, I said after 15 years, they decided to look for a new job. Why is that so? Oh, I'm supposed to follow my ex-boss, but because he's going to retirement, I can't follow him anymore. I've been following for the last 2-3 jobs. I've decided that now I want to go on and do something else. So people can be loyal to a job or loyal to the superior or a person. There are many reasons as well. Yeah, that's why you can accumulate your knowledge by working for a good employer for many years. Okay, and you must be careful to balance being regarded as a job hopper. Right? Basically, say people would say that Rolling Stone get us no moss because this guy has been changing jobs ever so often. But at the same time, if you don't change jobs, there's no venture, no gain. Sometimes when you change jobs, it's also good because you gain more exposure, more experience. And some employers will tend to look at your CV and say, hey, you only been working 10 years in a single organization and only been promoted twice. So obviously they question your ambition, whether you're really out there to improve yourself or you are happy to be in a comfort zone, right, in the same organization. So my advice to you, young people, is after 2 years, 3 years, start looking up. Unless you know that you have a good track record in the organization, a good, clear, established corporate ladder that you can climb, and you're happy within the organization with all the factors, you should change jobs every 2-3 years or 4 years to refresh yourself. So in your CV, you can see what you've done, not only the salary increment, but also your experience would have and been enhanced, yeah, as you move along. Okay, but do not rush. Take new jobs for the sake of change or hope of landing a dream job can sometimes backfire if you appear to be a hopper who lacks substantial experience with one employer. So don't rush, especially when the market is very soft at the moment. You thank God that you are still employed, that you still have your salary come in every month. Think of those who have lost a job. A lot of my candidates have not been employed since the advent of the pandemic. Some have lost a job even in March, April last year itself. Still haven't got a job as yet. Yeah, I just managed to get a job for one of a candidate, and husbands were so delighted. They said, wow, even during the pandemic, you managed to get my wife a job. I said, well, she acquitted herself very well in the interview. They were impressed, and there was a good match with her experience with what this NGO was looking for, because she has also worked in a similar organization in the past. Okay, finally make it happen. Now, once you identify your goals, your efforts must be channeled towards achieving them. All right. Once you identify your goals. So know what experience, qualification, and skills you need to accumulate in order to eventually achieve that dream job. All right. Let's say, for instance, your dream job is to become the head of YMCA. One of our candidates here is now working for the YMCA. So he will aspire to be the general manager or the CEO of YMCA in 5 or 8 years' time. So what qualifications, what skills, what experience you need for the internal promotion for you to move up to that role? Or you want to move into a dream job in totally different organization or different industry, right? Okay, so your efforts to pursue a job, whether it's through years of work, through connection and networking, or aggressively applying for the type of job you want, will eventually pay off. Yeah, so you have to do your work in the background right now, but do not be distracted by the some wrong reasons because of a new job pays you a little bit more or better sounding title. You know, in banks they call them AVP, Assistant Vice President, or some of the Americanized corporates call you AVP instead of Assistant Manager. That sounds better. I'm an AVP, but actually you're only an Assistant Manager, right? Or to be with former colleagues because you feel comfortable with them, or to follow a good former superior in a new company. Yeah, I had one candidate recently. I said, for 25 years, you seem to have stayed very long. I said, yes, I would have followed the same boss from my first company right up to the third company until he retired with this government agency. And I had no choice because he retired. So now I can't follow anywhere. I said, yeah, you almost follow him to the grave. So you either do that, yeah, or you got to move out and take stock of things and go out and build your own career, not just to be under the same superior, same boss. Yeah, you can do that as well. And finally, keep an eye on your long-term goals to turn your dream job into reality and not sacrifice instant gratification. That means instant, it could be just 100, 200 ringgit more. Yeah, you think that is good for you for long-term professional development, because sometimes cash emolument, or what they call cash compensation, is not the only um, yardstick in your life. Yeah, sometimes it's also job satisfaction. That's very important. Okay, motive to land a dream job. Let's say you're still an undergraduate and you're not decided. Now you have to look at your own talents, your motivation, and what are the opportunities that can be afforded to you. What about your own family background and support? Yeah, if your parents are medical doctors, I think that's 50% chance that one or more of the family will take up medicine. Yeah, likewise, the family business will take over the family business as well. Yeah, and if your dad or has been serving in the army or the police, the chances are he'll be encouraged to go into the uniform to serve in the uniform group. Yeah. So you want to go to a profession, then academically, you must be sound. Very important if you want to go into professions. Yeah, you got to do your research on the profession and the market and your own inclination. Are you cut for that? If you got no eye for details, you don't like figures, obviously you shouldn't go into econometrics, you shouldn't go into actual science, or even accountancy, yeah, or engineering for that matter. If you don't have a head for figures, you're not strong in your maths. So you must look at your inclination. Are you a people person? Yeah, or are you an introvert? You are very a person who likes to really dot the I's and cross the T's. You like to go into details. Then maybe a profession in audit, yeah, would be good for you. Or even in accident claims, becoming an adjuster, something like that, would be good for you. So you got to look at your own inclination. All right. Let's say your dream job is to become a commercial pilot flying wide body jets. Yeah. So is it a glamour? Why do people want to be a pilot of a commercial airline? Has it been called a captain? Opportunity to travel around the world while you work, travel benefits for your family, because you know, right? If you're a pilot or work in airlines, your family do get that once a year around the world tour, and you get massive discount on overseas trips and all that. I think nowadays you get less, especially if you work for the low cost airlines. Yeah, you must meet the criteria and be reasonably good in your STEM subjects. Yeah, your science, technology, and engineering subjects. Meaning, ideally, should come from a science stream. If you become a pilot, you must do your physics, do your maths, and your ed maths, and you must be able to meet the physical and health requirements, and also strong financial background, as flying schools do not come cheap. So those of you who want to take up flying, Malaysian flying schools, the one in Melaka, in Batu Berendam, we used to have one in Langkawi under MOFAS, and then there are one or two other scammers that actually fleece a lot of money, but nothing materialized. So be very careful when you go in flying school. Just make sure you go into the reputable ones. It will cost you about 200,000 to 300,000 ringgit. In Australia, it's still quite reasonable, approximately about 65,000 Australian dollars. And in India, they're the most female commercial pilots in the world, approximately about the same as in Australia, also about 65,000. All depends on which flying school you go into. Okay. And after graduation, that's not the end. You have to go through apprenticeship. You have to lock up your flying hours. And then there is also, you have to go into instrument rating. If you're a commercial pilot, you have to go for your IR. And then finally, you get your CPL, right? Because a lot of them start flying school, they get their PPL first, which is a private pilot's license. Your CPL is a commercial private license, right? What have you aspire to be a great trial lawyer? Right? Kiran can share that with you, what you have to go through. Right? There's so many career choices in your dream job. It's up to you to tell me what you want to do. Or even you might want to become a brain surgeon. Right? Okay. But whatever it is you choose, my friends, be the best. If you want to be a chef, be the best chef. If you are into music, rock music, gosh, be the best. Yeah. Do whatever to make you proud, to make your family proud. Do your best. Don't just be a humdrum, average person. Yeah, even if the profession is not highly regarded, that's no matter. But you be the best in the world. Yeah, I know someone who's qualified in medicine, a doctor. He decided to start his own spaghetti restaurant and decided to go into to give up all that. And a lot of people have changed midstream what they want to do. Yeah, we can discuss a lot of this after that. Okay, some brass tacks to the dream job. When you apply, use your power resume with a good format, and you must use powerful words to objectively describe your job responsibilities, and you must tell the truth, right? Never omit a position just because you work there for 2-3 months and you don't have a good track record. Does not matter. Put in, tell the truth. Unless you went for the job, you started the job on one day and you found out your boss has got CCTV camera all over the place. And if your lady don't feel comfortable, you're not sure whether it's got CCTV camera in the ladies' room. So you decide, no, this is no good. I think I will have to leave the job because of security concerns, or he harasses you. So immediately you leave. All right. But other than that, put that all in your CV. And you have to do your research and due diligence of your company. Check the website. There's also a portal called Glassdoor for comments by disgruntled current or ex-employees. But you got to be very careful because sometimes employees can just put in false remarks about the company. So you have to maybe 10 to 15% of these remarks may not be the actual condition or actual situation that they went through. So you got to be very careful, be judicious how you select these comments. Yeah, and if possible, speak to some ex-employees if at all possible. Of course, they got an axe to grind. Some ex-employees, they didn't get the promotion, they left the job, and of course, got nothing good to say about the company. So, and do this before you apply the job and even prior to the interview. Yeah, right. Interviews. You had a session, makes a letter on how to ace it, and a sharpening presentation skills with Johnny. Now, remember, an interview always overdressed rather than underdressed. Yeah, as first impression counts. Remember the session on creating your own brand. So I think it's important that you do that. Yeah, do not be too casual. Although your industry that you're going in may be journalism, it may be film industry, then you can just dress business casual, but never be casual. Right. After the interview, what do? Don't forget your letter of courtesy to the company for the opportunity of giving you to attend that interview. Send out that, but do not every 3 days call the HR office and say, "Oh, how is it? Did I get the job?" Do not do that. Yeah, let's follow up with a good letter. Okay, now we just simplify the whole hiring process very quickly. It differs with employees, obviously, in industry. Those of you who are working have gone through all that. What is the normal track? First and second interview. If successful HR manager will contact you with either verbal offer followed by letter offer, and there's a reference check being conducted either prior to the offer or after conditional offer, subject to nothing adverse on the reference check. Employer will reserve the right to withdraw the letter of offer if there is an adverse report, checking with your referees. All right, and if the position in the finance industry, very rigorous checking is required by Bank Negara Malaysia, such as CTOS, CCRIS, and even police criminal record. And you want to work overseas, a police clearance is a must. Yeah, very important that you get it because a lot of overseas embassies, for you to get your work permit, they want the clearance from Bukit Aman. Yeah, that's important. All right, and some employees require pre-employment medicals, and this could be a final hurdle in you securing that dream job. Just because you are slim and young and you are non-smoker, do not think that you have got very good health. Sometimes you do not know what the health issues you got into. I got a few couple of ladies who were rejected because they didn't realize their diabetes, the blood sugar level was very high and all that because they have not gone for a medical prior to that. So be very careful. Okay, for millennials, what are your prospects? The gig economy. They all talk about gig economy today. What are the options in gig economy? You can do freelancing, and what it offers you is because of flexibility, no fixed schedule. You can go by as and when basis, giving your freelancers very strong control over your schedule and jobs. And this is where home life or work-life balance offers you in terms of the gig economy. You got a whole variety. You can work at different jobs, different role. Yeah, depending on your passion, whether you're writing, you're creative, you can work from home. You can do so many things for the gig economy. And from employees' perspective, the concept of having an expanding pool of freelancing talent, it's good for them as well because it gives them the flexibility to hire. So you don't have too much of headcount. You can be on a specific project or it can be a temp job. Once that's finished, and then you part. And on your CV, it does not look bad because you say, hey, this was only a contract position. It's not because I was asked to leave or because I did not perform, but because it was a year-to-year contract. We finish off after the project was over. All right. In US, temping or contract staffing is very popular in IT industry, especially because all these are all project-based. Okay, Industry 4.0. What are the in-demand jobs of the future? All you millennials and young people, we have an engineer amongst us. These are some of the positions we like to think that Industry 4.0 will offer you great opportunity. The data analysts, the strategy advisors, the Internet of Things, digital transformation specialists, digital marketing and strategy specialists, big data specialists. artificial intelligence and machine learning specialists, cyber security specialists, software and application developers. That's always true. And renewable energy engineers, right? This is from the World Economic Forum, Institute of Labor Market Information Analysis. All right. So thank you. I'm done. All the best as you seek out your dream job. I'm wishing all the best for your assignments as you go towards your dream job. And this is like Kidzania. Even the young kids today are already brainwashed into their dream job when they enter Kidzania. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, past Governor Leslie. I wish I have heard about this talk when I started my career, huh? Because coming from an Indian family, they only gave me two choice: engineer or doctor.
Engineer, doctor, lawyer.
Yeah, which I
Yes.
didn't like. No, lawyer they didn't. If
They
they
didn't,
did,
huh?
I would have been a lawyer maybe. All right,
Right.
but then I'm not complaining. All right,
Okay.
so let's look at any questions in the chat window. Yeah, we have one. Shirley. She asked.
Really.
She
Hmm.
asked. Most people don't know what they want or what they enjoy doing. They don't know what they value or believe in. They aren't sure where they are going and how to get there. This frustration of not knowing hinders one from knowing their dream job. What is your important advice? What is your advice for this, PDG
My
Leslie?
advice, thanks Shirley for the question, is to keep on dreaming, Shirley. No, seriously. Yeah, most people do not know what they want to do. That's true. A lot of young people are not sure. As Raj says, there's parental pressure. I know I was basically forced into, oh, we got to do medicine, Leslie, otherwise you won't make it big time and all that. Yeah, as well. We had all these family pressures. So what you're going to do is essentially find that niche. Yeah, maybe once you get a job, when you go in, you find a niche, and then you can eventually, basically, by working, then you know what is your talent, what is your skill, um, how do you find yourself in that particular industry, and how you can move forward. Because without working, if you're still an undergrad, it's a bit difficult to assess the market, how difficult to assess your dream job immediately, even though you may be quite qualified in a certain field. I have graduates who qualified in veterinary science but do not want to be a veterinarian because they say, you are takut lah darah. I don't think I stand blood, and then they got to cut up the animal and don't like that. And I've got ladies who qualified in forestry. Oh, you are pachat lah, all the lintai, and I don't go to the jungle, mosquitoes and leeches. So sometimes what you qualify in doesn't mean you're fit for the job. So what is important is you got to enjoy what you do, or sometimes you look at your hobby. What is your hobby, and what is something that interests you? Yeah, if you're a person who is interested in, for instance, you're very mechanically inclined, you're a good stamp collector, you're very organized, then you know that the job for you, the dream job, could be something that you want to put things in order. You're always very orderly and get things going. Yeah, but it's hard to say what is a dream job, because what could be a dream job could be someone else's nightmare. It's just like food, what is somebody's favorite food is somebody else's poison. So I think it's important for you to get into the job market, and then you can tell. So I want to hear from some of you as to whether are you in your own dream job at the moment? Is there anyone you can just tell me, are you happy what you're doing now, or you've got no choice because that was a one job that was offered to me and I grabbed it immediately? Is there any opinion from any one of you? Sorry,
Yes,
Shirley, I'm not sure whether to
please.
answer your question.
Please put your feedback on the chat window, guys.
And I did ask question as
Yeah,
to
yeah. And you have mentioned dream job, right?
dream job. Yeah.
I got a question on dream job. I always thought about
Mm,
that even when I was
mm,
working. What is a dream job? Is it
mm.
a passion to do something? I'm happy doing this because it was my passion. Or is it high paying and lots of benefit like the banks? Or is it high ranking? I don't care about salary. I just want the authority. I want to sit up there.
That's right.
Or is it I just want to go overseas and work, whether it's a babysitter or bus driver, it's overseas. That's my dream. So what is really a dream job?
Well, the dream job really is something that for an individual to assess and say that this is what I aspire, what I'm happy with. So as Raj, as you mentioned, all these examples, this could be dream job to anyone. Someone could be an au pair girl and very happy doing that in Europe because you get a chance to travel. not very high in terms of social ranking. I'm an au pair girl. I go and help to look after baby or kid, but I get a chance to live overseas and get to travel. Yeah, I could be a fruit picker in New Zealand. Oh gosh, fantastic! I spend 6 months. I get to eat. I get to travel. That could be the dream job. I get to be, or I want to be in a ice skating or a skiing coach. I want to be a sports coach. That could be somebody else's dream job because he's very active, a sports person. It's not all monetary. It's not all financial. It could be, as you said, authority. Someone who could be a school teacher, a headmaster, pengetua. My dream job is a principal in school so that I could, give back to what I used to take from my principal in school and my discipline teachers. So all depends on what you feel that you want. But you have named those criteria, and they are certainly all fit into your dream job. Travel, the
Depends on
glamour,
the
the
person
money,
then.
all that.
So
No
dream job
stress.
is something I go to bed happy that tomorrow morning I'm going to wake up and do it, rather
Correct.
than, oh dear, I have to go to work.
Like Dr. Bernard, his dream job was to cut up people. Yeah, so he became a surgeon. He said, when I was a kid, I used to shoot the lizard down. I used to operate. I did that. I used to rubber band. I shot some lizards, and I used to take my scalpel and cut them when I was 5, 6 years old. Wow, I aspired to be a surgeon. I used to watch Dr. Kildare. I used to watch Ben Casey. Wow, I want to be the best surgeon in the world. Wow, look at me now.
I think Dr. Bernard's dream job was to work with Rotary International District 3300 Bernard. And he was forced to be a surgeon.
Yeah, of course, be a surgeon. That's true.
Yeah.
That's dream job.
All right. So the chat, apologies, the chat was not enabled earlier, but now you guys can post your questions and your remarks. Please, we want to hear a
Marks, want to hear from
youthful
you.
question and feedback.
We
Come
want to
on,
hear
guys.
from you. Sure.
While they are posting, can I ask Leslie something? Leslie, you asked just now about the 3 factors, the top priorities.
Mm.
You mentioned, and what do you think are
Key priorities for the interviewer.
no,
Yeah.
3 factors
Sorry.
that actually contribute towards what they think is their dream job.
Right. Okay.
What, through your experience, has been usually the 3 top factors? I mean, we've not heard from our participants here. Are we going to hear from them?
Yes,
Or
I'd like to hear from them.
share
What they are, what they feel. I mean, what is their dream job? Do they have a dream job in the first place, or they're just still trying to cari makan? And I'm quite happy with my 9 to 5. It's not a dream job, but it is a job nevertheless. I'm able to bring food to the table. I'm able to get my gaji every month. So tell me, your dream job. What do you all?
I see here someone is saying
A politics-free environment, allowing employees to upgrade themselves without tying them to the company. Okay, Subhashini, political-free environment, politics and racial-free environment, that is, utopia in Malaysia. If you work for a United Nations organization like UNHCR, yes. But if you work in any Malaysian company, any race for that matter, I'm so sorry to tell you, they will always have a little bit of the usual cultural thing that we have in Malaysia. Yeah, it may not be party politic free environment. We're not talking about that, but corporate politics will always happen. This is how you can handle the corporate politics. And your second point about allowing employees to upgrade themselves without tying them to the company. What you're trying to say is that the company will sponsor you for a program, let's say a course, without tying you to the company. No company will do that. They will always bind you. There will always be a bond if they send you for training. And the rough rule of thumb is always, if the course is for a month overseas, you're bound for 3 times the length of that 1 month. So you'll be bound for another 3 months, which is very short. Yeah, but if they're going to send you 6 months for a course, you'll be bound for 1.5 years. Normally, that's the rule of thumb. Yeah, they always want you to upgrade, but you are always tied to them, unfortunately. Yeah, but this is a nice utopian situation that we can have that. Right, JV, what do you say, JV? Where are we? Just grab the job that offer a moment. Also, due to family pressure, my dream job to be telco engineering. Okay. Telco engineering may be a dream job in the 90s and 2000, but telco engineering is a tough market. It's a very crowded field, my friend, because we have a lot of telco companies now. We're talking about 5G. There's a lot of excitement, but you must not look at what aspect of telco engineering. I have sent Malaysians to work in Australia, in the state of Victoria, to put up the Christmas tree frame. They were so short of technical guys. So they said, can you help us to employ Malaysians to come help us put up the Christmas tree? Christmas tree are those outdoor stations for Maxis and all that, yeah, all those telco jobs. So that was a telco engineering job, but actually it was just a technician's job. They were required to climb up because the Aussies say, yeah, I don't think we want to climb up. It's a high occupational risk for us to climb the thing. So they got Malaysians to work there, but it's a good pay. 6 months to a year, they managed to get good Aussie dollar, and that was it. Yeah. So telco engineering could be a dream job, but you got to aspire. If you do that, you got to do well in your EE engineering or and all that. Yeah. Okay. Praveen, what do you say? Sometimes we start a job, fresh graduate, something we aren't expecting, isn't our dream job. Time goes by. Okay. Certain point, you feel better when consider a dream job or some illusion we just succumb to. Wow. Praveen, very philosophical, Praveen. Yeah. You're right. It just like a blind date or a marriage was just arranged by your parents. Huh? Okay. So initially, macam mana ni? I don't think I feel very comfortable with he or she, but as time goes on, you get to like the person, you get to like the job, the environment. So yes, it could work that way. You could feel that you're able to move into the corporate and you feel there's potential for you to move up. Yeah, you're happy there. So it has not changed. Yeah, it is the general employer's expectation. Yeah, it has not changed. All right, Phelan. Well, and was a success. Says by well, yes, expectation for the risk low pay in return for experience should be very rich industries, but what is the general employer's expectation today? Has it changed with before? All right, Phelan, good question. A lot of employers, when they employ a fresh graduate, trouble is a lot of fresh graduates today are not so employable, meaning what we train you at college and university, it's not the skills that you can use immediately in the workplace. So you still have to go through apprenticeship. That's why the UK system, the old system of the Polytech, where you have 3+1, 3 years academic, 1 year sandwich program was excellent. So once you start work, you're immediately able to generate, you're able to, don't need anybody to supervise you. You are already on the go. So depending on the job, a lot of professions, for instance, like Kiran will tell you, when you do chambering, yes, low pay, but that was a tremendous exposure that you need to go through chambering and pupillage before you become a qualified lawyer. You have to go through that. So the expectation hasn't changed. A lot of employers will still want to pay you low and expect high returns. It hasn't changed. Yeah, it's still all the more now with the pandemic market. It is an employer's market, so you all really got to work very hard to prove yourself doubly. Yeah, because the world of automation has come in. A lot of industries are trimming their staff because of automation. You look at the banking industry, branches are closed daily because a lot of branches say, hey, we don't need all these branches. You're all doing online banking. You just put an ATM machine or 2 or 3 ATM machines to replace a whole branch. So the whole team at the branch level is wiped out. So that's automation coming in as well. Okay, I hope I've answered some of the questions. Any other feedback? Anybody else want to talk about your dream job? How do you think your job has been impacted by the economy? Do you think you will survive? Do you think you will do well? Do you think you're all right?
I got a question that the one
Yes,
thing that changed from the baby boomers generation up to Gen X and Gen Y now is someone working in a company for more than 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years. It was
Right.
normal then, baby boomers time. But that now
Correct.
it's as you already covered that.
Yes.
But during my employment, I'm sure Shirley and the rest, others can't relate. We used to call them furnitures. When they're more than 10 years in a company, we
Yep.
call them furniture that
And
that
fitting.
just
You're
moved from left to right, from floor to floor. That's it, right? So is that really loyalty to the company, or they were just lacking of employability skills? Which was that?
Thanks,
Why are
Raj.
they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Yeah, that as I said, in Japan, the old Asian way is they're talking about loyalty, talking about employment for life. If you work for Panasonic, from the day you graduate in University of Tokyo, you retire a Panasonic man. You become a salary man tied down to the organization. That was how the Japanese organization was. And when Mahathir talked about Look East policy, he was not looking at the work ethics. He was also looking at the loyalty, why the Japanese employees are able to stay so long with an employer and able to grow because they put him to various departments and move them around. But you're right. We tend to tease some of our colleagues and say, oh my goodness, this chap is really part of the furniture and fittings and like the curtain already, been there for years. So my advice for millennials, for young people, the Gen X, Gen Z, is that you got to move. Every year, look at your CV and see whether you have improved. Have you picked up new skills? Have you picked up any job description that you have not done in the past, or your job responsibility. Look into that. And there's no shame, no harm in moving jobs and changing jobs every 2-3 years just to get exposure. It will not harm you and impact you, but do not leave within 3 months, 6 months, and then you start another job and you stay for 3 months. Obviously, they will say that this guy has not been confirmed. He's already tried another job. But at least 2 to 3 years, settle in, list your achievements, what you have done, and say, I've done that, time to move on, because there was no career ladder for me. The guy up there is younger than me, or just only a few years my senior. No way can I replace him. So I got to move up to another organization. Yeah, Raj, hope that answers you. Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I was sharing for the rest. You did cover that earlier. All right, guys. How about more questions?
Any more? Anyone? Very quiet.
Haslina, you are in the recruitment line too.
Anybody? Any general questions on recruitment? Yes, anything at all. But I've not covered. Please share.
Talking about the due diligence part for the candidates to do their homework before they engage the company, right? I have a suggestion. Probably can also go through the industrial court to check how many cases of industrial court that this company has. Because if a company who doesn't have got a lot of industrial court case, give the impression that this company may not following the process, which is a risk, for anyone who join in. Yeah.
Thanks, Lina, in sharing. Lina is in HR. She was also doing recruitment, was my ex-colleague many, many years ago. So Lina is telling you all, before you move on a new job, not just check the glass door, because that portal, people could put a wrong, misleading statement about the company. So you want to do a proper due diligence and check, yes, check the industrial court, whether there's some cases against them. If you talk to some ex-employee why they leave, a lot of them will tell you salary. I mean, my EPF was deducted, SOXO deducted, at the end of the day, no contribution. I said, what? If they have not deducted, it's fine, but they've deducted, they have not contributed. So a lot of employers today renege on their statutory obligations. So you got to be very mindful, very careful. Sometimes you don't know until you go in. Unfortunately, you don't know the situation until you're employed. Then you know what's happening in there. And then you say, oh gosh, I should have taken this job. I should have stayed in my old job. This is terrible, things like that. Thanks, Lina, and sharing. Anybody else? Anything to share? Have you got any challenges? Is this your first job or your second job? How is it like? I mean, the few of you are here in the room.
PTG Leslie, I've got a question.
Yes, Shirley.
Do I feel sorry for Haslina because you linked her to say that she's your colleague, so kind of everyone looked at her again, white hair versus black hair now, you put her sort of like in the same age group as you.
I had the same thought.
Okay, PTG Leslie, my question is, sometimes it's not about the dream job, I think most young fresh graduates, we tend to go for a job that we look at the dream company more than the dream job, for instance, and an example is, I love Starbucks, so when that opportunity came for me to actually head the IT for Starbucks, I grabbed that chance because, just because I love to drink Starbucks, and of course I thought I wouldn't get all the perks of Starbucks once I'm in there, so sometimes we join more for the dream company than the dream job. But of course, from that point of view, also you can actually come up in the dream company to the job that that eventually is your dream job. But however, I always seem to see, and I'm not sure whether this is an Asian culture, where the tendency to promote from within doesn't seem to be a culture in our local companies. They tend to always look outside and get someone from outside instead of trying to promote from within. And then whereas when I look at MNC companies and overseas companies, they have that tendency to do that. They always look at the talent inside the company and try to promote. So what's your take in this matter?
You're absolutely right, Shirley. It is not sometimes the dream job. It is the dream company, the dream industry, what you want to get into. As I mentioned earlier, those in IT, 3 decades ago, it was IBM, the big blue. You want to be an IBMer. Everybody said, wow, he's with IBM. So difficult to get a job at IBM. And you want to go into audit, either top audit, you get to PwC. In your second round, you go into Ernst & Young. And the third round, you go into Deloitte. So there's also ranking within the profession. Yeah. So there's that. Yeah, the dream job. But really, it's not a situation where it's a very fluid situation of a dream job. Yeah, when you get to grow to love that job also as you get into, and then once you get into, you're comfortable with it. Hey, to me, it's my dream job because I'm happy, I'm comfortable there, not too much stress and pressure. I don't have much office politics. I'm so happy there. So that's my dream job. So people do evolve into the current job and are satisfied and happy with that as well. Yeah. So Shirley, have you had lots of Starbucks as part of your perk, or was that an occupational hazard that you couldn't sleep on the job? I mean, you couldn't sleep at night because you had about 4, 5 Starbucks every day when you're working.
Now the only thing is I was like, I was having free flow Starbucks, so I could never complain. And I had 30% discount on any Starbucks merchandise. So, I enjoyed myself while I could.
Well done. And let's look at some questions here. Before Kai, there was Subhashini. No, hang on. Sorry, can I just scroll up questions here? There was some remarks from Subhashini that we have not addressed, right? Subhashini, thank you for sharing your age with us, Subhash. You're a young person, 29 only, don't worry. Never have had permanent job so far, never experienced getting salary, even 2, 3. Currently working 2 jobs, managed to get 2. Couldn't even manage to get through certain filters to fit my qualification, language barrier. Started investing in my education, complete my MBA. Well done. Now I'm overqualified. Subhash, you're not overqualified. Your MBA is not necessarily just a yardstick in life. Unfortunately, in Malaysia, MBAs, sometimes employers don't regard that because sometimes they feel that you're a threat. Wow, I'm only got a bachelor's and I'm employing you with an MBA. Wow, you're going to tell me what to do and you're going to share with sometimes employer, but that's a funny attitude that just because you come with a higher paper qualification, they're going to be a threat to the person. So not to worry. I think your MBA is self-actualization. You've got that to enhance your CV. And later on, you can write to me and share with me what you want to do and see how we can help you out. Yeah, because it's so difficult to share good advice with you because your case, you're quite unique. I think you've been very frank, but let's see how I can help you out as well. Right? So, but you're not overqualified. Huh? Don't worry about it. You're not overqualified.
Sorry. Okay. Yeah, I think it's just about the salary wise that I'm overqualified because I've been applying for works that doesn't fit my MBA, mostly my diploma or SPM for that matter.
Yes, admin and accounts, right? You're doing, Subhash? Yes, admin and accounts. They will say you don't need MBA. Subhash, you said you just do your diploma. LCCI is good enough to do simple set of accounts. Yes, MBA for you to now prepare yourself for a career in perhaps academia. You can become a lecturer. You can do a lot of things, a lot of flexibility. Lecturer pays you 3,008 basic for private colleges. You can go in at 2.8, 2.9, and you can move up. But don't stop at your MBA. Go and get good, solid experience that can match because you are definitely not able to use the MBA for your current job because that gives you a helicopter view of the whole business scenario. Your admin accounts is more focused, very hands-on. So just an LCCI is good enough for you to do accounts and admin. Your boss will say, I don't need you an MBA to tell me how to do this balance of books and to do a simple reconciliation and all that. Yeah. So you're not overqualified, definitely. But just that there's no match. The match is not very good for your current job with your qualification. That's for sure. Okay, yeah, Kai. Sorry, Subhash, anything else?
Yeah, I just wanted to add on to your input just at the end, at the beginning of the lesson today. You're mentioning that was certain incentives by the government to employ unemployed
yes,
graduates, right? So I'm under one of that program. I'm under personal step by the government initiative. So I'm as a contract-based pembantu tadbir is more of an admin clerk at the hospital right now. Yeah. So just
obviously the salary is packed because that one has got a fixed salary, so you cannot go very beyond that, yeah, because that is the salary level. Even for slim program, it was 1,000 at first. I said, what? You only give them 1,000? Then it went up to 1,005 for a fresh unemployed graduate. But it's an incentive for those who have not been working. So to them, it's at least 1,005 in the pocket. Yeah. So I'll engage with you a little bit more on that. Let's talk about Kai's issue, studying biotech, moment, plan to work in company related to plant tissue culture, according to the level of interest. Is that possible? Yes, Kai, that's possible. Biotech, tissue culture, you eventually may want to join Mardi or the Sime Darby. Sime Darby has a very strong plant tissue culture program. Yeah, not many companies are really keen on tissue culture except the big boys, the big agricultural companies like Sime and Golden Hope before, they all became part of Sime Darby. So Sime Darby is now so big that they've got even a department to look into owls, what do you call it? Not cultivating owls, using owls to look after the palm oil estate to in order to detect the pests, the rats and all that. Yeah, so they're so diversified in the agriculture. So tissue culture is something that will interest them. It was a so-called something very exciting years ago. I did a project on tissue culture in the 70s in New Zealand, because in New Zealand, Lincoln University was one of the forerunners of tissue culture. It still is. So it's something that it is good. Like Singapore, tissue culture for orchids. They do that all the time, and fruits and all that. Yeah? Who knows, you might do the next round of specific durian blend without even having to plant your big durian, but just using tissue culture. Right? All the best to you, Kai. I think that's a very interesting career that you have chosen. Anything else? Anybody else like to share?
No, Sophia has a question, LS.
Sophia, sorry, where's Sophia? Have I missed a question? Sophia, I go back. Dekat mana Sophia?
Down.
No, I don't see.
It's the last question.
Last question.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. I want to work as special needs educator. Now I have achieved that job. Wow, I don't feel sad because I don't get to interact with my student face-to-face, only through online. All right, Sophia, welcome to the new norm. What to do? All of us are all stuck in virtual learning. Cikgus are not happy because, even students, my daughter, gosh, doing an SPM online learning, just went back to school for SPM, just started 4 days ago. Already a lot of pressure on them, and I don't think they're very happy with online learning. Yeah, we know.
Yeah, because right now I'm teaching with the special needs students. Because if I'm teaching special needs students, it will be better if I interact face to face. But right now, I teaching online class. It's so like challenging.
Exactly.
So, I mean, sometimes I get like not scolded, but how like I get a tegur by my boss to do better. But
are you in a school, Sophia? Sorry, are you in a special school that does this special learning kids?
Yeah, it's a GLC special school. It's a pusat dalam community. It's a subsidized by Jabatan Kebajikan.
Well done. Yeah, I know. So difficult because sometimes when it comes to teaching, I mean, adult learners like us, fine. If they have a session on webinars on certain topic, yes. But for students, especially those with special need, they want to look at you. They want to see a 3D Cikgu No Sophia, bukan a 2D. Yeah, just on the screen. Yes, I can fully empathize with that. It's terrible. But don't worry. I think hopefully now they're slowly relaxing, lifting with more vaccinations going on very soon. You'll probably be having your physical classes again. We hope so too, because we are also just even Rotary with our meetings. Oh my goodness, we're missing all our physical meetings and saying hello to each other, and each other a pat on the back and salam and a hug or whatever. Yeah, we miss
because
that.
Because I really want to have a teaching job ever since I was small. But when I already achieved that, but I was thinking that because after there's and then working at the GLC, there's a lot of paperwork need to do.
Of course.
It feels like a teacher needs to do everything.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Cikgu always complaining, not only homework, the mark, now with the paperwork lagi. Of course.
Yeah.
Sure. So are you in KL? Okay. Dekat mana? Where are you based?
In Cheras.
Oh, in Cheras, KL. Okay.
Yeah.
Please engage us more. We'd like to talk to more people with your caliber, talking to special needs children, to see what we can do together in Rotary as well. Yeah, I think that's very good.
Yeah.
We want to form
there is a time when I have a bad day. When I have a bad day, I feel like I want to quit my job and then start to work at the NGO back. Because before I start I teaching at the GLC, Pusat Dalam Community. I'm under UNICEF program.
UNICEF program, fantastic.
But
the far cry from UNICEF
there is a pro
GLC.
and cons.
Well done. Hang on there. We need to look at our special needs kids. They miss you. And Kai, where were we now? Lung Fu. Let's say I work in engineering company for 5 years. I want to work at a company which is completely unrelated to engineering. Chances that I can recruit it. It all depends. What is your job? A lot of people can switch over quite easily. not just an organization switch, but in terms of job switch. Now you're working in engineering company for 5 years and you want to work in completely, totally unrelated, no issues as long as your skills can be transferable. I've known people who work in semiconductor plant for 5 years. They went for 3 months of training in accounts and admin and immediately switch over to the audit team of this big manufacturer of RFID parts and all that. So you can switch over. No issues. Just that your change should not be so drastic. It could be a little bit, depends what your job that you're going to do. Obviously, from engineering, we're going to put you into something creativity like copywriting, maybe a little bit out. So you got to find a good balance between your new job and all that. Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Question.
So yeah, let's. I think, is there any more questions?
One last one.
Maybe a time for last one for Lishan in terms of his job at YMCA. 8 year chance I've been recruited, so I don't have any sales case retrenchment happen case. Now, I think your YMCA is a little bit more better, slightly better than the commercial hotels. No doubt you're also impacted. The whole hospitality industry is badly impacted. I think in your case, it is an NGO, it is a not-for-profit. So I don't think you may be retrenched, but prepare yourself, look out for a position because you're in the front desk, front office assistant. Hospitality industry at the moment is very, very, I would say it's very fluid at the moment. The only hotels are doing well is because those days with the COVID, what do you call it? The patients who are put into hotels for their isolation and all that. But seriously, you should be on the lookout. You've been there for 7 years, unless you're very happy. There are a lot of positions I mentioned about YMCA, whether you want to aspire to move up within your organization, stay on. Otherwise, prepare your CV, start looking out. Although the market is very soft at the moment, there could be some other jobs suddenly you find that you're happy with. For instance, Malaysian Association of the Blind. I mean, MAB, Brickfields has got so many NGOs there just around the corner. You may be able to find something very enriching with another NGO just around the corner in Brickfields. Okay, thank you. I hope I've answered that.
Thank you. But let's finish this Q&A with one last question. Right?
Sure.
You being in the recruitment industry and also very involved in social and networking activities, right?
Right.
How can social work and networking activities in other organizations can strengthen employability skills and can help us to help employed individuals or professionals? How can this involvement open doors of opportunities?
Certainly, Raj. As employees, they look at CVs not just as your qualification and experience, but sometimes they do look at what you have done, your strengths and your co-curricular activities, for instance. Yeah, so it's important, and that's how I do recruitment. I recruit people in the daytime jobs, but after hours, I recruit them for Rotary clubs and road track because I can see from the CV, wow, you've been an interactor in school. How come you're not in road track? Or you've been a road tractor. How come you're not in Rotary, my friend? And things like that. Yeah? So I think we still pay cognizance the fact that networking, people with that talent, the extrovertness will still do well. But of course, if it's a job purely, let's say you're working for an accounting firm, a big five, they will probably not go beyond that. They'll look at your SPM results. Oh, I got 9 A1s. Okay, great. You got ACCA, minimum time, no failures. And this will be good for us. So they recruit them purely in academic, very seldom, unless you're going for a road scholarship or you're going for something else that they want to see how outstanding you are in your academic. But even in the entertainment, advertising, in a lot of positions that require the interpersonal skills, definitely employer will take heed of your co-curricular activities and what leadership role you have taken on in school or in college. That counts as well. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Very well answered. Thank you very much. And Dr. B, can I have the slide up? I'd like to invite the program coordinator, Shirley Ho, for a word of thanks. Oh, sorry. I'd like to invite RYLA Chair, past Governor Kiranjit Kaur, for a word of thanks.
Thank you, Raj. Friends, especially our speaker, PDG Leslie Salehuddin. Now,
thank you.
Before we go on to thank you officially, Leslie, it was really our programs director and I think the committee made a very good choice with having you as our last speaker to bring or to actually end our sessions for the employability track for our Rotary Youth Leadership Award today. The job market is tough now due to the economic impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. And I think after listening to our participants, and of course, what you shared with us today, Leslie, you prompted participants to be honest, to actually share some of the thoughts that they had. Our RYLA participants in this track definitely came to our sessions, maybe looking for something in this program that will help. And I hope that all of those who are outside the labor force can actually see that there is hope and a lot of positive impact by attending our sessions. You have been motivated by listening to PDG Leslie. We call him PDG because he's one of our leaders in our Rotary organization. But with his background as recruitment in recruitment consultancy, I think he has been able to give us very, very good feedback, I think, for all, and I know for all our participants today. Leslie, I'm going to ask you a little bit more of yourself. If we can share your number and of course your email
sure.
with participants in this group. With
Definitely.
that, Leslie, we on behalf of Governor KSTO and of course the organizing committee of our Rotary Youth Leadership Awards, we would like to thank you for spending the time with our participants today. And can we put our hands together for Leslie? Thank you, Leslie.
Thank you so much, Kiran.
And Les, on behalf of
lovely, lovely.
Yes, this is our certificate of appreciation for your contribution towards youth empowerment at our event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, lovely. Thank you so much.
Back to you, Raj.
Thank you, Past Governor Les, and thank you, Past Governor Kiranjit. Let's move to the next slide. Next is the assignment tips. And not as the final assignment yet, it's just tips first. I'd like to invite Shirley Ho, the program coordinator.
Okay. All right, thank you very much, Raj. Moving on to the assignment tips now. In the last workshop session, I mentioned about our Rotary area of focus. So just to recap about what is this area of focus, because all our activities, projects in Rotary is centered around these 6 areas of focus, which is basic education and literacy, maternal and child health, peace and conflict prevention and resolution, disease prevention and treatment, water and sanitation, and economic and community development. So why we have these 6 areas of focus is actually as a guide to all the Rotarians and Rotary clubs to focus on doing projects or activities that addresses these areas. All right. Now, coming soon on the 1st of July 2021, Rotary now adds in another area of focus, which is the
sustainability.
Okay, which is the supporting the environment. So that will be the 7th area of focus that will come into place as of the 1st of July 2021. So come 1st of July, we'll have 7 areas of focus. So in the last workshop session, I did the first 3 areas of focus, and today I shall do the balance 4 areas of focus. So the 4th one is disease prevention and treatment. So activities and trainings done by the Rotary clubs are concentrating on reducing the cause and effects of disease. So Rotarians around the world, we involve in projects to prevent disease and promote health. And how do we do that? Through promoting disease prevention programs that limit the spread of communicable diseases. We educate and mobilize the communities to help in preventing the spread of major diseases. Now, our signature project under Rotary International is to eradicate polio from the face of the earth. And we are actually very close to doing so, with only 2 other countries countries now left in the world that we have not eradicated polio. With this achievement, polio will be the second disease in the world to be totally eradicated after smallpox. So this is, how vast and outreach a program that we are doing to eradicate diseases. In Malaysia, as in locally, Rotary clubs are very active in looking into dengue cases, malaria, so diseases that are more local to our environment. All right. So we do a lot of education and awareness programs. We look at reducing the incidence and complication from non-communicable diseases. Now with COVID-19, probably Rotary is going to come in there to look at, see how we can then facilitate on the vaccination process and stuff like that. All right, so this is what this area is all about. And also we provide scholarships related to disease prevention and treatment, and so that therefore a lot of money and funds are actually invested in the R&D element of it also. Okay. So these are just some of the samples of what we do worldwide in terms of disease prevention and treatment. Moving on now to the next area of focus. Why is it Dr. B, why can't I move my slide? Okay. Okay, so the next one is water and sanitation, the fifth area of focus. Now, the Rotarians around the world, what are we actually looking at? We support investments in infrastructure to create measurable and enduring improvement in water, sanitation, and hygiene. So it could be providing access to safe water. And you might think that in Malaysia, well, generally at least 80% we can get safe, clean drinking water. But there are still rural areas like the Orang Asli settlements that do not have access to clean drinking water. So we have gone into those rural areas and provide ways and means for people to have clean drinking water, not only at the villages, but even at schools also. And also we look at improving sanitation with better toilet systems and stuff like that, and also hygiene conditions. We also look at implementing sustainable water and sanitation system. Now, this is a very good area because we have a few interact clubs under us that have actually assisted their school. They have raised funds and they have actually implemented rain harvesting projects where rainwater is collected and then that is used to water the plants and clean and wash the school compound areas, and this has tremendously reduced the water bill for the school. So these are things that we are very actively involved, and something that for you all to know also. And also we provide scholarships that are related to water and sanitation R&D. So here again, irrigation, sanitation, hygiene, water quality, water supply are the areas that come under water and sanitation. And then our 6 areas of focus. Sixth area is economic and community development, and majority of our projects and activities evolve around this area of focus. And what do we do under the economic development is we look into projects that create and endures economic improvement in our communities' lives by building capacity to support economic growth and to reduce poverty. And this can be also through education. So it's then based, is linked to the other area of focus, which is basic education and literacy. We look at developing opportunities for work, providing scholarships in economic and community development. So here we look at if you look at locally in Malaysia, there's a few Rotary clubs have done projects where we empower single mothers with skills that then they are able to produce whatever, it could be sewing skills, and they can produce arts and craft items that they can then sell and then earn an income out of it. We have even projects where we teach baking skills to single mothers, and then in return they are able to produce all those baked products that we create a platform where they can sell and earn an income from their home, so they don't even need to leave their house. All right. So these are the examples under economic and community development that are actively done even here locally in Malaysia. And finally, the last one, which is supporting the environment, though no clear structure has come out yet about it, but just from the name itself, we are looking at reducing environmental issues that greatly impact the environment. We are looking at opportunities for sustainable living. So examples could be plant a tree. That's an active project that's going on right now. So we work with local councils and we look at planting trees around. That's one. Secondly, we are also looking at from the hygienic point of view. We are trying to reduce plastic. We are trying to reduce waste. We are trying to look at reusing waste. So, collecting used cooking oil, converting the used cooking oil into soaps that can be used as cleaners in the kitchen and stuff like that. We are also looking at examples of creating awareness in schools, teaching young school-going girls about using disposable sanitary pads versus reusable sanitary pads, and how the disposables are actually damaging the environment. So we create all these awareness program, and we are trying to move towards sustainable living, and of course providing scholarships. Now, why have I gone through all these today is the 4 areas of focus and earlier was 3 areas of focus, is because this is going to be very, very useful should you get selected for the finals, because there will be a very, very important activity that you will be doing, and it touches on these 7 areas of focus. So what do you have to do at your end? I've already explained briefly to you. So the next thing that you should do is Google, find out more information about these 7 areas of focus, do a bit of research, and find out about the kind of projects that are actively done locally and internationally. And if you have any ideas that you think would be of great benefit in any of these area of focus, jot it down, because it's going to be very important. Should you get selected for the finals, this will then become your advantage. So with that, I pass it over to the MC.
Thank you, Shirley, for the assignment tips. Can I have next on the slide, please? It's a closing address by the RYLA organizing co-chair, past Governor Kiranjit Kaur.
So did I miss Shirley sharing the assignment yet? Not yet.
That's at the end.
Okay. So thank you, Shirley. I came in a while. Now, our friends, participants, we've come to our last session today, and as I've shared with you during our opening, our Rotary Youth Leadership Award is actually an intensive training program that brings together youth like yourselves, and it is part of Rotary's commitment towards youth empowerment. RYLA gives us Rotarians an opportunity to mentor promising leaders, young leaders like yourself. But we have seen this particular program for this year, we have seen a departure on how we usually do things. We've done it online. We've done a session. We've given you 2 tracks, 2 opportunities. There was the entrepreneur session and of course the employability segment where you are involved. And I hope as after this, after my segment now, you will listen closely to what Shirley will be sharing. And I sincerely hope every single one of our participants out there will be submitting your assignments. Now, you've come a long way by following us for the 4 segments, but nothing will, you will be pleasantly surprised, I hope, when you are chosen for the RYLA in-person session in Janda Baik. So in order to do that, you must complete your assignments, and we will actually, there will be an evaluation of those assignments and you'll be notified, but that will come next. But what I want to say is, thank you so much for following us, and it comes to the last part now. Please join us for our in-person assignment or in-person RYLA, and that's only possible if you submit your assignments online. So please It's been a pleasure being here with every single participant. It has been an even bigger honor to be able, with our committee, to be able to invite all the dedicated speakers that has shared words of wisdom, that has shared their slides and their knowledge with us on our program here online, not only with you, but with all our participants, with all our viewers that have seen or followed this program on Facebook. So on behalf of our Rotary organization in Malaysia, especially in our district 3300, and on behalf of our district governor, our current leader, District Governor K.S. Teo, I would like to thank every one of you for participating. I would like to thank the speaker today, Leslie Salehuddin, who's joined us, especially also the dedicated RYLA committee members, our programs chair, Shirley Ho, Millie, Mahat, Raj, Dr. Bernard, who is all the way from Sungai Petani as well. And we've got CK and my co-chair, Karti Palanisamy. Thank you very much, Raj. Back to you. Take it home, Shirley.
Told you today's session going to be emo.
I know, I'm feeling so emo.
All right, guys, turn on your video, group photograph session. Change your view to gallery view so you can see everyone. Adjust your hair. Adjust yourself. Sit straight. Stomach in.
Stomach in too much lah. Wait.
Can't start video.
Leslie, can start video.
I can't. Can somebody host? Can you help me?
And what?
No, you at the bottom of your. There you are.
Boleh, thank you.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Okay, done.
All right, stay on, stay on. Don't go. Not another photograph.
Assignment coming up.
It's the time. Ding, 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 ding. This is your final assignment. Before I call upon Shirley, there is 11 or 12 of you here. I would like to wish you all the best for the assignment. Why Shirley, you're laughing?
No. There'll be the others who are following us on Facebook also.
Already.
But when 11 or 12 listens to assignment, we like to receive 11 or 12 submissions, yeah? No reason, no excuses. This is a personal challenge to all of you. All right? So, over to you, Shirley.
Thank you, Raj. Well, the moment we've been waiting for, but I think before I tell you about your assignment topic, I think all of you should really give yourself a big round of applause. Why? Because you all made it till the 4th session, because I think we all started off at like 30 plus, and then it went down to 20 plus, and then now it's gone down to 15 plus, So it's still the cream of the crop that's going to make it to the finals. And all we need is just your assignment for that. All right. Next slide. I think Dr. B, did you give me the control? Okay, so here you go. This is the part A, the first part of your assignment, which is your written assignment. So this is the question for your written assignment. What are the 3 key learnings you gain from all the online workshop sessions? And how can you apply these learnings in your working life or any aspect of your life? All right. Now, maximum words allowed, 500. Maximum file size is 10 megabytes. Submission deadline is submission deadline is not 13 February. This is I changed it, but your submission deadline is actually on 7 days from today, which is the 6th of March. Okay, don't worry, I'll post this in your chat, your employability chat, okay? So it's the 6th of March, 11:59 p.m. Now you need to upload your assignment into the Google form, and the link is provided there. So in the Google form, there'll be a portion that will ask you to enter your name first, and then followed by what stream do you belong to, whether it's employability or entrepreneurship. And then the second segment will tell you to upload your file for your written assignment. So you just upload it. So remember, there's a restriction in the file size, which is 10 meg. All right. So the next question some of you may ask me, can we put what format and all that? I did not specify the format, so we leave that to you in terms of the document format. All right. And some of you have asked me, can I put pictures? Yes, you can in your document. However, just take note of your maximum file size. It's only 10 meg that is allowed. Okay. So this is your written assignment. No worries. I will be putting this also in your WhatsApp group. Okay. The part B is your video assignment. So for your video assignment, this is the question. Do a video presentation of yourself detailing why you should be selected for the RYLA weekend retreat. So in other words, why should we select you for the finals? Now your video length is anything from 3 to 5 minutes. All right. Maximum file size is 1 gigabyte. Your file format to be in MPEG. Your submission deadline is 6 March, 11:59 p.m. And it's also to be uploaded in that same Google form. So after the question on where you can upload your written assignment, the next segment asks you to upload for the video assignment. All right, so it's all in the same form where you upload your written assignment and you also upload your video assignment. So take note, video length is 3 to 5 minutes. File size is not more than 1 gigabyte, and there's a file format, which is an MPEG, and there is a deadline for submission, which is 7 days from today. Okay. Now, both the questions are quite straightforward. So we are really looking forward to receiving your assignments because entrepreneurship have given. So let's give them a fight also for the placings in the finals. We like to see employability coming in too. So we are looking forward to each and every one of your assignments. All right. So with that, good luck to all our participants, and we look forward to seeing both your assignments by the 6th of March. You can always submit it earlier. Now, is there any questions that you'd like to ask me in regards to the assignment?
By the way, this assignment will be posted in the chat group, so you can read it again. And if you don't understand, if you like to ask questions, then you can ask in the chat group or call Shirley directly to clarify. And also, I'd like to inform you that if any of you have decided to call the entrepreneurship and ask how did they do it and try to copy, all cannot because the answers are very personal. It's very personal to you. So from the question, you should know that it's not your answer. You know, what do you feel, what you have experienced, and where do you want to go taking this RYLA experience, right? So don't call the entrepreneurship guys, all right? Okay, with that, thank you very much for spending your Saturday afternoon with us. Thanks a lot. Thank you to past Governor Les for your time, and thank you for the organizing team for being here today. And thank you, as Shirley mentioned, thank you to all the 11 participants here now for what's the word, for being here till the end, like she said. Yeah. I was trying to find some bombastic word, couldn't find it. All right, from 40 to 30, now 11. So you guys are the rock stars of RYLA Employability. All right, so looking forward to receive your assignment in 7 days' time. With that, have a good weekend. Have a good Sunday tomorrow. See you in Gender by 8.
Thank you, guys.
Great. Well done.
Thank you, Leslie.
Welcome. Great job.